Good evening. Tonight we're here to celebrate the life of Edme Sanchez, more affectionately known as Grandma. If you permit me though, I need your participation for a moment. By a show of hands, how many of us here can remember 10 years back? How about 20 years back? 30 years back? 40 years back? How about 60 years back? Not too many. 70? Even fewer. 80 years? Can we even begin to fathom 100 years back from 2014? I certainly can't. But something really special happened on January 2nd, 1913 in the town of San Pablo. That was the day that Edme was born. And it's the beginning of her story and the beginning of the roots of the great Sanchez family tree. Most of you know Grandma has 8 children. She has 4 sons who are here with us tonight. There's Joseph, Edward, Jimmy and Lawrence, and 3 daughters, Gloria, Cece, Rita, and Rosemary, who's here in spirit. Now, the other night we had gotten to talking about Grandma and the 8 kids, and I learned that Grandma was pregnant for basically 10 years straight. Can you imagine that? 8 children over a period of 10 years. That's pretty amazing. And then the roots of her family just continued to grow. And they got stronger and deeper because of her children. But what many of you may not know is that Grandma had 27 grandchildren. And many of you are here tonight, I see. And she had over 40 great-grandchildren. And again, there's many of them I see here tonight. And she's had a gaggle of great-great-grandchildren, some of whom are here tonight. And the roots of her family continue growing. And there's this amazing family tree that spans 4 generations. And they're here with us tonight. Now, I first had the honor of meeting Grandma back in the fall of 2000, shortly after my partner Wayne and I got together. I had already heard so many stories about her that I was really apprehensive on meeting her for the first time. I knew that Grandma was more than just a grandma to Wayne, that she really was his second mom. And so, you know how it is when you meet Mom for the first time. It could be pretty undaunting. But in Grandma style, she opened her home to me and she opened her heart to me. I remember she cooked a meal, which we refer to as Grandma's ribs, which contained 10 jalapeno chili peppers. I remember eating that meal and I was sweating buckets. It was so hot. And she jokingly asked me, she said, "Mike, what's wrong? Is it too hot for you?" Grandma really loved her hot, spicy food. She loved it. But really, Grandma's most special gift is the unconditional love that she shows to her family. And to you grandkids here tonight, you all know what I'm really talking about. The 70s leading to the 80s was a really crazy time. It was a time of excess, a time of rebellion. But through all that craziness, you always had your grandma. She was always there for you to open her door, to open her arms to you, to hold you, to love you. counsel you, and even when it was necessary, to scold you. But most of all, you knew that Grandma was there to give you her unconditional love. She imparted to you those special qualities of fortitude and love, which allowed you to build your foundation to keep you grounded and to become the fine people that you are today. The roots of your grandma are forever in you. Now, these past few months have been really hard on us, for some more than others, with Grandma's health deteriorating as it was. Many of us prayed that Grandma would stay strong for just one more day, to continue living, to just be with us so we could kiss her, so we could see her smile, so we could love her evermore. And like young children, when you truly love somebody, you never want that person to go away. We are those children. Yes, we were naive, but that's okay. Yes, we were in denial, but that's okay. Yes, we hoped beyond hope, but that's okay. And now we grieve for Grandma, and that is okay. A question was asked the other day, what's Grandma holding on to? Why isn't she letting go? Well, I believe Grandma was granting Grandma one final wish, which was to have her 4 sons together by her bedside all together. And to hear her daughters laugh one final time. Thank you and praise to you, God, for granting Grandma this one final wish. As we pull to a close, consider this. The church that we're going to be going to tomorrow is the very same church that Grandma was baptized in. It's also the very same church that Grandma was married at. And tomorrow, it'll be the very same church that Grandma embarks on her next journey. This small town girl has come full circle. I want to end this by reading a poem that I came across the other day. And it goes something like this. If you want to close your eyes, go ahead. There's peace and quiet, beauty and repose. It's hidden in a valley behind a mountain stream. And lying, I know a place where no one ever goes. There beside the stream, I find that I can dream only of things of beauty to the eye. Snowflakes and mountains towering in the sky. Now I know that God made this world for me. Now, this poem was sung by a little girl who was reflecting on the passing of her mother at a really young age. And she later grew to be a poet in her own right. And I just want to read the last verse of one of her poems. Don't let memory play games with your mind. She's a faded smile, frozen in time. I'm still hanging on, but I'm doing it wrong. Can't kiss her goodbye. promise to try. Godspeed to you, Grandma. The roots of your family tree run strong and deep, and your legacy carries on. Thank you.